Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday show. Arsenal Fan Circle here. Pull up a chair. You're all welcome. And we're looking for a full flight today. Right, Sam? How are you doing, Sam?
I'm all right, Ray. Thanks for having me on again. Yep, full flight today. All the cabin attendants are here. The head purser's here. The captain, the first officer, all ready to go.
I was hoping, I wanted to get you back on as well, Sam. It hasn't been on in a while, so I wanted to get you back.
Yeah, it's great to be back. I know I'm not on here as I used to be back in the pandemic days when I didn't really have anything else to do. But yeah, I try to get on when I can.
Right. And I wanted to bring you in just in case we got a draw, or heaven forbid we lost at Stamford Bridge. But we all know we got that win at Stamford Bridge today. We're going to have a Kahoot quiz a little bit later as well. So nothing personal, rival fans. We're going to talk about you as well. You know, Tony, how are you doing?
So. I'm here.
Good. Tybe is first in the chat box. Sam Greenwood. I could see everybody in here. Grandma's apple crumble.
Who's that?
If Carlsberg did Sundays, not a bad Sunday, Sam.
Yeah, great. Big up, Reedy. Nice to see you, Chris. Great to have him here. Thunder Road. I haven't seen Thunder Road for a while.
Yeah, he's been around. With us for the last few weeks, especially Thursday nights as well. So big up Thunder Road. Yeah, listen, let's get through the results from today as well. We'll talk about Chelsea Arsenal, of course, Sam, but Aston Villa doing one on Manchester United. That's nice.
Good evening. Yeah.
It'd be nicer if I stuck with my fucking pick.
The return of Dracula. Yeah, I was thinking of Villa as well. I was like, Villa with Emery. I was thinking of them, and then I went for Wolves, and yeah, that kind of backfired.
Ray talked me out of it when he said that Unai's only been there one day.
Yeah,
so big up Mahir. He was the only one who picked Aston Villa. So he gets a full 11 points, and he needs that. I'll show the scores momentarily to everybody. The other thing as well, I picked Newcastle, but Tony, they did not stumble at Southampton, and it looks like Hasenhüttl might be leaving the club now. That's the news.
They're struggling, aren't they? They're not really doing what they want to do.
Crystal Palace, Tony got a 2-1 win against West Ham. Could have went either way.
Yeah, Vieira's favourite boy.
That's Tony's second team right there.
Tony's second team right there. He loves Vieira.
Ever since he heard about Selhurst Park from me, he loves Crystal Palace.
Ever since I won your fucking quiz that you cheated me out of, but
never forget that. And then Sam, Liverpool holding on in the end against Tottenham. Gary, Matt, and Alonso had taken Liverpool for the upset there.
Yeah, I mean Liverpool won again today. First, I think it's their first away win.
First away win of the season.
Yeah, they did well today. Salah looked good. 2 good goals. Tottenham are they're a weird Jekyll and Hyde team. They were shit in the first half, which they normally are, and then the second half, every game they play, the second half they're just 10 times better. And today they played a lot better than Liverpool in the second half. Well, at least they gave them a proper game in the second half. But the first half, they were just terrible. But still nice to see them win. I mean, Liverpool win, of course. I want to see Tottenham lose every day of the week.
Yeah, I think the media are saying that Conte's got too much in handbrakes on them in the first half.
Yeah, they set out so deep, and they set out with like a 3-5-2 with like they just sit so deep, and it looks rubbish, and they don't really play fluently, and they look terrible, but they keep grinding out results. Apart from today, of course, they lost, thankfully, but they just keep grinding out results because the second half they come out the second half most games and just play so much better. But yeah, I don't know. Conte seems to be. I don't know. You see, it's Conte. I don't think he's doing what he wants to do, but yeah, we'll see how long he lasts.
All right, Mr. Mahir is here. Mr. Mahir in the house. Big up Mahir picking Aston Villa for his upset pick. And going back to yesterday,
he's without his collar again.
Tony and Stan picked Nottingham Forest. They got 4.5 points there. Brighton upset Sam a lot Sam was hoping to get Wolverhampton Wanderers points, and so you see Tony's pulled away a little bit from Sam. Stan picked the same as Tony. Stan got a few points. Ray stays where he is. Gary, Matt, and Alonso picked up 6 points for Liverpool winning, and Mahir is the big mover today. He got 11 points, so big up, Mahir.
Good evening, guys. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
So,
hey, man, how's my guys? How's everybody else doing in the chat? Shout out to everybody, what it is.
I mean, loving life with that win, right? You can't beat that. Going away to Stamford Bridge. We'll get into that one. Want to have a quick word. Sam, yesterday, Manchester City struggled a little bit with the player being sent off.
Right.
And got the softest penalty I'll ever see in my lifetime, I think.
Oh, that was terrible. That was absolutely atrocious, wasn't it? Yeah.
The only way Kevin De Bruyne could have done anything for his team there was do a theatrical dive, Tony.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
A Tony Award, huh? A Tony Award. No, you get it?
So Mahir, yesterday we were hoping that Fulham could hold on and got to the 93rd minute of 95, and they got their penalty and they got the win, much like us against Fulham. We got a late winner against Fulham, but I think ours was a little bit more justified than Manchester City's yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? These type of things happen because in crucial moments of the game, you need to make up your mind. We're going to get into the game, but I'm like crucial moments, like, for example, when that Martinelli, that beautiful cross came through. And I was thinking to myself, oh my days, did it just go past him? No, it actually didn't go past him. But like crucial moments, you're supposed to take a shot. You decide an extra pass. Or you decide an extra pass when you're supposed to shoot. That's what happens.
Yeah.
That happens. You take your chances.
Mr. Tom said Southampton lose 9-0 twice, but it's losing to a team that are third in the table that is sackable. I also understand, Mr. Tom, there's new owners coming in, and the media asked Hasenhüttl, "Can you get out of this?" And he said, "No, I think he's ready to leave." He could probably see the writing on the wall as well. You know what I mean? I rented the dungeon to my ear. It's a good day to be a Gooner, exactly. Listen, respect. We're putting some more respect on Arsenal now. And Mikel Arteta is doing a good job. The team are doing a good job. They're picking up, Sam, we're picking up wins now away from home. Manchester United, let's equate this game to kind of Manchester United in August, or early September it was. And we came through with flying colours today against Chelsea.
Yeah, we dominated the game. Absolutely. We had many chances. I think, we should have definitely scored. Jesus should have scored. Erdegaard, my boy, should have scored.
Yeah.
It's we had the chances there to put them to bed, which is the thing that's a bit annoying with Arsenal at the moment, is we're dominating, but we're not really putting teams to bed, when we can, to get clear and not have to worry about, a last minute goal or something like that. But yeah, it was a great performance today. Like you said, I think it was even better than the Man United performance, of course. But to go away to Stamford Bridge and dominate them like that and win like that, it just shows you that we mean business now. For me, that shows.
Yes,
it shows me that we really do, we really do want that title challenge, and we've really taken a step up, a real step up from last season. So I feel a lot more confident in this team now after today.
Yeah. Listen, all Arsenal fans come on board. I think the only thing that is stopping Arsenal fans from getting fully on board is their own feelings and their own ways how they're feeling about the team right now. The quality's there. The manager's showing that he can do it. It's just our own reservations. As a fan, if you want to get on board with something, that's fine. But you can always. Arsenal have let us down, let's say, in the last 2 decades, Mahir.
Well, the thing is, right? It's after we're like, we're so used to struggling, right? I mean, in terms of where we want to be, being behind quite a lot where we want to be in recent seasons, or for many seasons, if you like. I think we were looking at the start of this season now and just trying to be a bit cautiously optimistic by thinking, yeah, it looks good, but do we dare to dream? Do we dare to think, we're going to do it? Are we really going to have a title race? Is that really, we're so, after what we've been through in recent seasons, we're so scared to sort of admit that we're actually doing something,
Yeah.
But I think now, there's that famous term, if it walks like a duck and it looks like a duck, it probably is a duck, right? So
yeah,
after 13 games now, and we've beaten Liverpool, we've beaten Chelsea away, we've beaten Spurs, we've beaten, we basically won every game apart from losing one and was it drawing one or something like that.
Yep.
So you have to say we're in a title race now, because if you don't, it's just not true. We are in a title race, and it's just now a matter of, can we keep that going? And what I really like today was another big test for us, not just because we were going to Stamford Bridge and playing, what normally is a decent Chelsea team with Graham Potter and all of this. Graham Potter has a great record against us, but we had to win to go top of the table and keep our challenge going. We had to win. You have that added pressure on top as well. So to have that and go there and do it and dominate in the way we did, I just think it shows now that we've taken that huge mental next step, and now we are a team that can really say, right, okay, you're winning, we're going to win too,
Yeah, Tony, as Sam has said, we've had to answer the call now on 2 Sundays. The last 2 Sundays, I think, Manchester City have pulled out those wins on Saturdays, mainly through Kevin De Bruyne against Leicester City, 1-0 with that fantastic free kick. It's actually 2 sides of Kevin De Bruyne, and Kevin De Bruyne, you should be ashamed of yourself for diving, but it's up to the referees to clean up the act. We've seen the best of Kevin De Bruyne and the worst, but Tony, Arsenal have responded in the last 2 Sundays as well to that.
And we just keep churning along, getting sloppy wins a lot of times, not enough goals, but still doing what's needed to get the 3 points. I'd like to see us be more clinical, but that's about it. Other than that, it's nice to see us just keep on churning, picking up wins. And now I wasn't lying when I said we would be in the contenders. Not the pretenders.
It's funny because Tony does seem to be hold the team to a higher standard, right? You could call it being critical or negative, but now he was the one who was saying, we can be contenders. And look, there's nothing wrong with being, let's say, Liverpool of the last 4 or 5 years, and we know Liverpool fought hard to get second place each year, and that's what Manchester City are going to do to you. But to keep grinding out those wins, instead of sloppy today, I'm going to call it a gritty win, Mahir. How would you characterize that win?
I would even describe it as gritty, but it was a dominant gritty. It was a dominant 1-0 because they just could not get the ball at all. I watched the entire game, lovely, nice and relaxed in front of the big screen. And I was just this close, and I was like, "Oh my days! We all this needs is a few goals. We just need 2 or 3 goals." And like Sam said, we've struggled to do just that. Put the ball in the back of the net. Mr. Tom, I clearly agree. Aubameyang is nowhere near good enough to talk smack. I mean, nothing personal. I like my name. Nothing personal.
Nothing personal. Yeah.
Nothing personal. Balance is red, my G. Don, what up?
I think that promotion was more or less to bring numbers in to watch the game, right? It's like the new age TikTok environment where you have to grab the fans' attention, the younger generation.
They want to create attention. They want to create a buzz. this whole social media conflict thing. It's all good for them in the end, doesn't it? Because it creates attention, it creates people want to talk about it and then see it and watch it, and it's a narrative. They create a narrative, don't they? And then it works for advertising, for to get people on board to watch. So obviously they do it for PR, right? To get people to watch and everything.
Almost felt, Sam, like Aubameyang should blink twice if you wanted us to save him.
You're sitting on the bench, you're like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing?
What do I say? What do I say next? Like you're brought into a room and you're gonna make a statement, Aubameyang. So this is what I'm saying.
I just want to shout out to Russ. Russ, you sad plank of wood. I mean, come on. We won today away at Chelsea, and all Russ can do, Mr. Morgan, is talk about the referee again. I mean, did you have a bad episode with the referee when he was a kid or something? I don't know what's going on with him anyway. Anyway, Revenite. Hey, Revenite, good to see you back, man. John, I hope you're well, man. Good to see you.
Russ always blames the ref, Sam, no matter what happens.
I tagged in the Revenite today, so we got him in the chat.
Brilliant. Good to see him back. Good to see him back. I haven't seen him for a long time.
When Alba made that challenge on Ben White, I really thought Arteta would 2-foot Aubameyang. Listen, there was a couple of things. Sam, I'll stay with you a second, then we'll go to Tony and Mahir. I thought Graham Potter set his side up to be physical against us and to keep the game close and tight. And probably given the quality of the squad he has, that was probably the best thing that he could have done against Arsenal, right?
100%. 100%. A lot of his main players were missing, or not missing as per se, but injured.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, with the form we were in, were we expecting really anything else? Like, I was actually confident for once, going into all these big games and saying, you know what? This is our game to win. This is ours, surely. Unless something stupid happens, surely that's 3 points. Pocket those 3 points, enjoy the whole weekend, enjoy the rest of the week, walking around with this beautiful badge on my shirt. Come on. Yeah, what more do you want?
It's really good as well, Mahir. Listen, at the end of the season, we're going to see what kind of trophies we can get, what kind of achievements we can finish with. To be able to walk around with chest out and not be a banter club as such anymore. And Don Juan's enjoying it. Just finished trolling those Chelsea plastics, plus United's bad clowns. What a great day it's been. Chelsea lost. We took care of them. United lost. A former Arsenal manager took care of them. And
thank you. Thanks, everybody.
So what? And the Spurs got flushed at the toilet bowl. We love that.
Man, like they always do.
Always good. On the road said Russ Morgan, I thought the ref did well. He was consistent for the most part. No complaints here. Yeah, I thought the ref was pretty strong in our game. Come on, Sam, say it loud and clear. We're gonna win the league.
We're gonna win the league. No, seriously, if I'm gonna say it, if I'm gonna be honest, I think Manchester City will probably beat us to the league title. But even getting close and getting set. Oh, Ray's gone. He's goodbye, Ray. Anyway, getting close, second place would just be amazing.
Yeah,
just be amazing.
Absolutely.
I'm thankful for where we are now. I really am. It's such an amazing thing to see us back up there.
Tony, do you think in a way what Sam's saying? We all know logically we may finish second. Does that take the pressure off the team and the fan base in a way? If some of us want to dream and think about it, winning the title, we know Liverpool struggled, right, to get even close to City in previous years, Tony.
Yeah, we're in a position where we kind of should have been. Started with a fairly easy schedule. Got a big wins when we needed them. Now we just need to keep a foot on the gas. Our biggest problem is just strength in numbers. We don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a number 2 striker. Jesus isn't firing anymore. Luckily, Gabriel got his 7th goal in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But all in all, we're in a good place. Hopefully we can keep the pressure on them for a long time. But the biggest thing is just getting players in, looking at players during the World Cup, getting business ready. waiting for transfer to open on January and getting more bodies in.
Yeah.
Surely in a position now where the Cronkies in the club will mandate getting a player or two that's going to help us. Melvin, you're exactly right. The first target has to be 40 points and avoiding relegation, which we've successfully done that each and every year that we've been in the top flight. 6 more points required to do that. Tony, we got Granit Xhaka. Tony. Gotta give him props, right? You gotta give him props.
The fucker finally showed up.
Tony, you gotta give him props.
Well, he doesn't do that.
You know what, though? You know what? I mean, I'm one of Xhaka's biggest critics as well. I think now that he's playing in that higher position up on the pitch, we're getting a lot more out of him and what he's good at, and less of what he's bad at. So that's good, and he's doing very well, and that's what we want. You know, we can't ask for more than that. But what I'm impressed with Xhaka, I have to say, I have to give credit where it's due, is he seems to have matured more as well. I mean, in terms of he reacts, and he gets angry, which, that's the way he is. But it seems like he doesn't go over the top now. Where you saw today that little tiff he had with I forget his name. Was it Chalobah? Yeah, Chalobah, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
You saw, I think Xhaka like 3 years ago would have probably, smacked him or something, or would have done something stupid and pushed him and probably got a red card, right? But now you saw Xhaka, he was angry. He told him he was angry, he had words, but he didn't do anything physical, which I think he shows he's learned a bit more restraint now. He's a bit more matured, which is good. I think it shows that he's taken on board, things he needed to learn.
Yeah. Hand on heart, I was saying, no, Xhaka, don't. Yeah. I still have a little bit of Xhaka trauma, thinking he was going to do something to give himself a yellow or a red card. Revenite said, well in, lads, win the league. Tired of those annoying cheaters. Manchester City winning it, and we beat the Spuds for you. Conte's crying. It is difficult, though, overcome Manchester City, though, the powerhouse that they are. Question for Sam: what do you call a fat bloke buying diesel at a fuel station in Liverpool?
What do you call a fat bloke? You call him, I don't know.
It seems quite a random question.
It seems to be a really joke. This is a really joke now. It's going to be something really weird or stupid.
Ross is our official referee auditor.
Yeah, and then he disappeared.
Big up, Revan. I hope you're good. Hit those likes, validate your boarding pass.
Yeah, hit the likes, everyone.
It's going to be a good flight. Big up, Steve, doing well.
Yeah, we're going to get to our destination.
I'll send Mr. Good Evening. Give you a lovely evening. You're welcome.
This isn't Malaysian Airlines where you don't get to your destination.
We assembled evening panel where grinding countries.
We don't get lost.
We got to put away our chances as goal difference could play.
This guy right here. Hey.
Yeah, Mahir, we did get the one goal right through Gabriel Magalhaes, which Sam will corroborate. I did predict that we could get a corner and we would get a goal from Gabriel Magalhaes.
Yeah, in our chat today, we were talking about the game, and like literally like 5 minutes before the goal, Ray was like, this game needs a Gabriel goal. It looks like it's going to be a Gabriel goal, and I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great. And he goes and gets it. He goes and gets the goal. That's great.
I thought it would be a towering. I did think it would be a towering header. You know what I mean? One of those imperious kind of goals, but it came all the way through to him, and he tapped it in at the end. So we'll take it.
I just want to quickly say to Mr. Tom, you're welcome. I am that good. I can play for Leeds part time and score goals and get assists.
And be on a
part-time part player for Leeds. I'm that good. You're welcome. Good result against Bournemouth. It was a fantastic game. I saw the highlights. Brilliant. But yeah,
you saw your highlights.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, I mean, 7 goals there, Tony. 4-3 to Leeds. And at 3-1 down, I'm thinking, oh, Jesse Marsh, they're going to be talking about you again. They're going to want you out. But I think what we're seeing, even with Arsenal, is stability. If you build something, you have a manager you believe in, okay, you're going to get some bad results, but in the long term, it could pay off for you. So you have to think about the long term sometimes as a club. You know what I mean? What a comeback from Leeds. Great result for Leeds indeed. And that's a roller coaster, Tony. That's a game that's a roller coaster, 4-3, right?
Yep. You got to use your roller coaster joke of the week.
Mahir, we got the goal through Gabriel, right? But we had a couple of other opportunities. The two big ones were probably Gabriel Jesus with that header in the first half.
As soon as I saw that cross coming in, I just thought, this is going to be a bullet header. And the way from where the goal was started, which was basically in our box, and then we stole possession back, and immediately went on the counter. I'm thinking, oh my good, if this must be a goal, if this must be set up into a goal. When I saw the cross coming in, even I said, oh, what a way to score a goal. Dispossessing them of the ball when there was a threat in our box, taking it all the way to them, and scoring. Oh my, nasty. Mm-hmm. And then when the one tackled fully, I thought, please tell me they just went across. They just missed him. But it actually made contact with him, and I was like, damn it, man. All we're missing is a goal. We are dominating Chelsea. The Chelsea guys. We are dominating them. All we need is one goal to get the ball running. Anyway, and that's how it came. It came from the other Gabriel.
Mr. Tom,
beautiful cross by Saka, though.
A great piece of build-up, Sam, for that attack. Great piece of build-up. We were able to get ourselves out of trouble because Chelsea were pressing us really well. But our 1-2 touches, moving the ball fast and getting the Martinelli and then that cross to Gabriel Jesus, we just needed them to finish that off for us, you know?
Yeah, Jesus, unfortunately, at the moment, he's hit a bit of a dry spell, hasn't he? He does still does a lot for us in attack. He links up play. He gets around players. He finds good passes, but unfortunately, he's still not scoring at the moment, which is something we're lacking. Of course, we need that. We really do need that from him. But yeah, that move was absolutely beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Could have been potentially one of the goals of the season. And he just needed to hit the target really with his header, and he didn't. Unlucky. But that is sort of been his thing at the moment. He gets into good positions. Most of his shots get blocked, and or else he misses the target at the moment.
Yeah, Reddy has supplied the answer to that petrol station question. Liverpool, Frank Lampard is the answer. Mr. Tom said, since the top end of the Premier League has increased in dominance, I'd say the days of 40 points being the survival benchmark have gone. Tony, we've all seen that graphic, 34 points after 13 games. Most other teams go on to win the Premier League, but the big asterisk is probably Manchester City in recent times, right, Tony?
Yeah, there's a few teams that didn't make it after starting off like we have, but just a handful. There's only like 2 out of 9 or something like that in the Premier League.
Newcastle and Man United.
Yep.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Man United and Kevin Keegan's Newcastle. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but we could be grouped in with those two in that stat. Xhaka swearing to the BT Sports camera was fantastic.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
I heard frankly, I didn't hear any bad word. I heard frankly.
Oh, he swore. You might have seen an edited clip, but he swore. He used the F word.
That's what that was Gary. That was Gary edited, but
Yeah, Gary safe clip.
That was Dark Sam.
What do you really say, Sam?
I think that was my Malaysian Airlines little bit there. I think, yeah. But this is we get to our destination, everyone. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get there in the end.
Our pilots will get you there.
Might be a rough ride. It might be a little bit bumpy.
We'll stay on radar at least.
Like
right?
You got to put up with Tony as a cabin attendant, but apart from that, you're okay.
For me, our most disappointing players today were our two number 8s, Odegaard, right, and Granit Xhaka.
Odegaard today, I was watching him a bit today, and for me, yeah, he had a pretty quiet game. Apart from he should have scored, of course. But the thing with Odegaard is, and this is the thing people don't really see with him, is he keeps the attack ticking over. That passing out the right to Saka all the time. We find Saka in space, and Saka gets to have that run at Cucurella, whatever the F his name is. That is Odegaard who sets that up. So. He does a lot of things in between there that people don't really see. He's an important link in our attack, even though he's not maybe getting the type of numbers we want in terms of assists and goals, even though he has improved on that lately. But he's an important part of our attack. He's a cog in the wheel that needs to be there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I think his feet in tight areas, and we saw that, against the 20th place team, Nottingham Forest last weekend when he scored that goal. But here today, in tight areas, he was able to get away from the press and keep the ball moving. And I have a work colleague who I convinced to start following Arsenal, and he said to me today, "It's amazing how quickly."
Did you keep wrapping him in masking tape? Is that what happened?
No. Times are good now, Tony. We're winning games. You know what I mean? But he was amazed about how quickly we were moving the ball around, and Chelsea were setting up to, I think, press us a lot. And I think Potter's tactics for today were to take care of Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus, and especially Partey. I noticed a lot of players around Partey, and I think Partey had a good game today. Imagine Chelsea paying 60 million to get Xhaka, held on a corner while watching the ball go in. Yeah. Cucurella was like slow dancing, Tony, with Granit Xhaka for that goal. When you're at the nightclub and you're getting to the end of the night and the slow dances are coming, I grab someone for a slow dance.
The Bryan Adams song start playing. Yeah, that's when you're getting towards the end. You got to look for the fat ones.
Leeds in 12th. I'm starting to get vertigo. Getting the nosebleed up there.
They're getting way up. They're getting way up, much further up the table than where they should be.
So that chance, Sam, for Odegaard, he could have taken the shot on his right foot.
He fluffed it. He needs to find the target from there. And he's normally very good at finding the target. He really is. But yeah, he fluffed that one, unfortunately.
Early in the second. That was about the 73rd minute, I think.
Something like that.
We're trying to seal the game. Gabriel Jesus made some great. He evaded some defenders and made a great pass.
I think Thiago Silva blocked like 4 or 5 shots by himself today.
Yep.
He was amazing. He was definitely their best player for me.
Stephen said that Jesus missed header, had Marinelli just shaking his head in disbelief. Also, Stephen, I noticed Gabriel Jesus shaking his head right at halftime as well about that one. Don Juan, Chelsea fans have gone missing. My brother-in-law won't pick up his phone. That's 2 on the spin now. That's 2 on the spin for Brighton. And they go up to Newcastle next week. I'm praying that Jesus doesn't go to this annoying World Cup. Well, I think, unfortunately, Reddy, he's probably going to be.
Does he start for Brazil, though? That's the thing. I don't know. I haven't really watched Brazil for a long time. Does he start for them, or is he backup?
He may not start.
Yeah, I think he's backup, isn't he?
Yep. Steven said, "Don't get me wrong, Sam. I love what Odegaard does. I just thought with Partey dominating the midfield, he would shine a bit more. As for Xhaka, well, he's Xhaka."
No, I agree with Misfit. I agree with him. I think Xhaka, you're not giving him a lot of credit, but he's done a lot better. But today I agree with you. Today Xhaka and Odegaard both of them didn't really shine today. It was more of a gritty, deeper line midfield game.
I think if you characterize the game as gritty, then you're saying your players dug in a little bit, and so if your aides dig in and help Partey out a little bit, then
they kept the game going. It just wasn't like you didn't see anything spectacular from them. It was just they just kept the game going. You know, it wasn't really very slick, but it was more like
a back four,
pretty game.
So Tony, talking about Graham Potter, I thought he picked his poison. You know, he set out to keep the game close, Marcus as well as he could. So in that respect, you're going to see our eights maybe not having the best game in the world.
Yeah, Odegaard, you can kind of muscle him out sometimes, even though he's still good with the ball at his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Still can out muscle him. Zaka just sometimes doesn't bring it.
I think it's difficult when Chelsea play. They got Jorginho there, Kovacic. You know, they got those deep lying players. They're going to give Xhaka and Odegaard a hard time. You got Thiago Silva who pushes up there as well. It's difficult for them to maneuver. You know, when they got those players around them. So yeah, it's definitely a challenge when they play games like this. But I thought they both did okay today. Not brilliant, but they did okay, and we won the game in other areas, didn't we?
Yep. Sam, early doors, the Cucurella and Saka, the 1-versus-1 was something that Cucurella was maybe getting the better of Bukayo Saka.
I thought Saka was playing him a bit wrong there. He's playing too tight on him. Letting Cucurella get too tight on him. Because Saka was way faster than him. I think he could have given him a bit more, leeway and got away from him more, and let himself have more space, because Cucurella was very smart. What he kept doing was he kept getting into Saka. Sorry, kept getting into Saka using his body, and he had this little hip check he kept doing to put him off what he was trying to do with the ball, and it worked really well. He got away with it a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought Saka should have played him a bit more loosely, because Saka was way better than him. Cucurella was nowhere near him when Saka started running, So I thought he could have got more out of that, definitely.
Don Juan is making a good point here. The Arsenal documentary has been a blessing in disguise. Arsenal fans now feel more connected to this side, and it has allowed us to build momentum. And also, we kind of maybe can visualize what's going on at halftime, and before the game, how Arteta's trying to motivate.
Arteta's saying fucking lots of times.
Fogging. It's like fog. There's lots of fog out there.
Fogging.
But you could almost feel like he sent the players out with determination today. We were winning 50-50 balls. We were getting in the tackles. We were coming out with the ball more often than not, and we were tenacious. And it had to be on the back of Manchester City winning in the way that Manchester City won yesterday.
That's the thing now. We've got a team that wants to win, right? That's the difference. We've got a team that steps up to the challenge, wants to win, wants to prove what they are, wants to come back and say, right, okay, you won, now we're going to win. Mm-hmm. Completely different mentality than what we've had in past seasons, where our teams have just shied away. How many times have we seen our team bottle a situation like that? I guarantee you 100%, if this was 2 seasons ago and we'd have been in a similar situation, we would not be winning this game today. Yeah. So it shows you that, and that's down to the players we have now. They're meant that the new players, that collection of players, the mentality and drive they have, that Arteta, of course, is driving in them with what he's doing in the dressing room, on the training ground and everything. But those players, they're knitting together now and have that mentality, and you can see it.
Yeah. And 2 years ago, that was under Arteta, but we had players. We had players who were not didn't have the mentality for this.
Exactly.
Can't underestimate what Zinchenko brings. He may not be great defensively, but he brings that will to win. He brings the ability to link play up and be inverted into midfield. And of course, what Gabriel Jesus is doing for us. He's doing what Lacazette was doing last season, but 3, 4, or 5 times better, Tony, than what Lacazette was doing last year.
Yep.
And he's definitely doing a better job of it. Like I said, kind of Thursday, I see him doing too much of it lately. He's been staying back. You want to see him more up there as a goal striker or go out and get one. Just like today, 14 shots, only 2 on target. That's not near good enough. He's got to start being more clinical, taking his chances. But he's doing all the other stuff you want him to very well.
Yeah. We do need him because every game now we're saying, okay, well, he's got to score this time. It's been 8 games. And if that grows and grows, we'd like him to get on the score sheet only one more opportunity before the World Cup starts. Potter putting Aubameyang up front alone confused me, but I was happy to see it. And maybe Potter gambled on Aubameyang being motivated, Sam, against his old club. Didn't seem to.
That's like gambling on a snowball not melting in hell. That is basically.
Tony, why are you wearing Brazil top, fella? Well, I asked Tony before we got going here, is this a nod towards his Don Juan man in match? Is it, Tony?
I just got a little chilly outside. I haven't turned the heater on
What's
yet.
the temperature there now where you are, Tony? What's the temperature like now?
I don't know. I'll look and tell you.
It's actually been pretty warm around here, so probably like.
I thought you were in an area where
15 degrees.
Doesn't it stay hot? I mean, doesn't it stay quite warm?
Oklahoma.
No, it still gets cold. It's 67 right now.
Really says, I don't say this very often, but thank you, Liverpool. Yeah. Listen, there are times when we need Liverpool to do some things for us, and a certain Champions League final a few years ago, we didn't mind Liverpool winning. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The rivalries and, the historical rivalries that fuel how we feel about Manchester City, how we feel about Chelsea, how we feel about United, Liverpool, and of course, that team down the road. Nothing personal about Aubameyang. We were taking 3 points today, right?
Sam, why not take it personal?
So we talked about Potter, how he set them up physically. There was a number of challenges here that you were worried about. I noted them here. Aubameyang on Ben White. A little bit tasty, that one, right?
Yeah, I thought that one was, I wouldn't say it was malicious, but he definitely went in hard. And I think he went in with the intent of like saying, yeah, here I am type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he had the intent of injuring him or anything like that. When you look at it in replays, it's not very, very bad, but it's still bad enough where, you need to give him the yellow card and you need to say, like, that's it. You don't want to see any more of that. I don't think it was a red card, to be honest. I really don't. But it was bad enough, to get the reactions it did. And you can understand the reactions because in the heat of the moment, without all the replays and everything, it did look pretty bad. And it just shows you what the kind of guy he is. He's like an arsehole, basically. Right, that's what he is.
We know Aubameyang got sent off against Crystal Palace for, I'm not going to say exactly the same kind of challenge, but you do question whether it was one of those orange cards. Not quite strong enough to be a full red, but definitely a strong yellow. You know what I mean?
I think when you see it, like I said, when you see it like live, actually happening there live first time, you get a bad reaction from it. You think, wow, this could be a red maybe. But when you actually look back on the replays, you can see it's not quite that bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's in my opinion.
Yeah. Later in the game, Tony, there was Aspilicueta on Martinelli as Martinelli was trying to go for a ball that was about knee high, and Aspilicueta followed through on Martinelli.
Yeah, they're definitely out to play hard. 5 yellows by him. Don't like get some type of sanction for that. 5 yellows in a game.
Yeah. And then there was the other one, I think,
yeah.
Cucurella and Saka. I think it happened so many times, but I didn't make a note of it. There was one that was...
Yeah, I know. I noted that, like I said, because Cucurella was obviously tasked to play physical against Saka to try and put him off his game. And it worked. The tactic did work. But he had so many fouls today. That's what I reacted to, was he had so many fouls. He should have, he should have really been on a red, really. I mean, that for me, that was one of the things I thought the referee got wrong today, was letting Cucurella get away with so many fouls.
Yeah, they had 19 as a team. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, Cucurella had a few, but they wanted to play tough. That was obviously one of the tactics Potter wanted to play tough, but we're not pushovers anymore. That's the thing.
No, that's it exactly, Sam. Tony, do you have any notes on the possession stats? We had to have probably held on to possession quite a lot in this game. I think
56 to 44 is what it ended up.
56-44, and you can have quite good possession up to say 75, 80 minutes, but then Chelsea were pushing at the end of the game. Last 10 minutes got a little bit nervous for me. Obviously, we didn't have that second goal, and you can never quite sit calmly in your seat or watch the game just at 1-0, because you always know the other team's going to get something. But I can't remember actually them getting anything really clear cut in this game.
No, they didn't have really any clear-cut chances. 5 shots, 1 on target. Can't really ask for better than that. Nothing looked threatening.
I think the biggest chance they had was that one where Havertz comes through and Aubameyang is completely by himself.
Yeah.
And Havertz just does the wrong thing and tries to shoot and misses completely instead of squaring it to Aubameyang.
He's looking for that cutback there. You can see it developing in time. A little bit like Manchester United. If he'd played it like the Manchester United game, he might have had a shot on target there. Thunder Road said Thomas Partey has not had a single yellow card this season. That is interesting. That is interesting. I thought Thomas Partey had a good game. I think it's 8 yellows for a sanction from the FA.
I don't think it was that many. I thought it was 5 or 6.
I think it's 5, but when it comes to Chelsea, it might be 8. You know what I mean?
I think it is 5, isn't it? I think after 5 you get a suspension or something like that.
Yeah, and Saliba and Jesus have been on for quite a few games now. 56% Arsenal, 44 Chelsea.
That's good when you're playing away at Stamford Bridge. That is good.
Yeah, this is the way This was the debate in the United game, Sam. Whether to be pragmatic and stay and get that 1 point, or whether I think Arteta has recognized we need wins, not draws. If we're going to compete with Manchester City, you can't pick up 2 draws. Better to pick up 1 win out of 2 games rather than 2 draws, right, Sam?
Yeah, we have to win games. It's as simple as that, because they're going to keep winning, and then we have to try and win. And I just think Arteta's going more for the jugular this season. I don't think he's trying to be pragmatic. I think we're just playing that way, because I think the way we play with the high press, it's you can say it is a very good way of defending as well, because you saw today we pressed high, and Chelsea didn't have much of the ball really. They didn't have, like Tony said, they didn't have any chances really. They didn't have many good, didn't have much good play, and we were just pressing them to death today. We just kept winning that ball back, winning it back, and it was right up there on their side of the pitch. And I think that's when it works so well, and it's such a good way of defending as well. Unfortunately, against Manchester United, you can see that the times we're pressing up like that, and we do something stupid with the ball where we just give it away without, really doing what we're supposed to be doing, then if you have a team that's really good and quick on a counter-attack, like Manchester United are when they're playing Rashford, which they were playing against us, who's so quick, they could just get in behind us. We were up at the halfway line, and they just got in behind us so quickly, and that punished us. It was our own mistakes really that punished us against Manchester United, because as we know, we've talked about many times before, overall, that game, we were playing well. And I think we really should have got more out of that game. But I think Arteta now, as I said, we are pressing high and going for wins instead of, and I think that is actually part of our tactics in terms of defending as well, because I think Arteta now wants us to defend high on the pitch.
Yeah. No, that's good. The more you have a higher line, the more you can compress space, and we're a much better team in tight spaces.
The only thing we've got to be careful of, and we've seen it a few times this season, where we are vulnerable against teams who have quick, agile players, especially on each wing. If they've got one on one wing or on each wing, they can get behind us when we lose the ball. As soon as we lose the ball, if they play direct, if they don't go, try and pass 2 or 3 passes,
especially on our left side,
they just ping a direct pass over the top of our defense. That's where we are vulnerable, and that's what we've got to look out for. But I think he's taking. You have to take risk with football, right? It's calculated risk. Yep. So Arteta's going, okay, this is the way we want to play. This is the way we want to press, and we're just going to take that chance that if we lose the ball, that direct pass is not going to happen.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Sam. Football is all about those choices as a manager. Potter set up to keep the game nice and close, maybe get a goal. You know what I mean? And he didn't in the end, but he kept the game close right till the end. And Tony, you're right. Behind our left back, where Zinchenko usually resides, is where teams can get joy. We think about that. The 2 Liverpool goals at home that we conceded. We think about the 2 goals we conceded away at Manchester United. They've all kind of originated from our left back position.
Yeah, because that left side pushes up so high, and then you usually just have Gabriel by himself, and he's usually almost at the halfway line. So leave up even further. So just a race to get back. Like Sam said, we're vulnerable with the teams with the fast wingers, or just through balls, or just lop it up over there and run towards the ball.
As long as we can continue to recognize the dangers in the opposition, such as a Manchester United away from home, then we can handle most teams. And we're talking about small breakdowns against Liverpool and United here. And these are teams that are going to be in the top 6. Probably Liverpool will get there as well. Don Juan said they got a lucky win last year. They beat our COVID team. Really said also our game management has improved this year, especially when leading away from home in the latter stages. And we're just different gravy this year as well. Sam, where is Conte's syrup? We're still trying to find out who Conte's syrup is.
It's in the empty trophy cabinet.
in the Kahoot challenge. We'll be having a Kahoot a little bit later as well.
I hope it's got something to do with Arsenal.
It's Chelsea, Arsenal, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. It's got something to do with Arsenal.
Mostly Arsenal, but we have to take our esteemed opponent.
He's the same one that he gave to Tom. Just all leads questions.
Round 1, and I'm sure a majority of the fans agree that Dulcie brought us closer to the team, more respect and appreciation. Our game management has improved even after Leeds and Southampton. It's improved. Potter finally met a better Voldemort with high pressing. Potter, he's got some work to do there at Chelsea, and they're going to have the checkbook out in January, and they're going to need to turn over some players. Potter's in a situation where Arteta was maybe 18 months ago.
Yeah, they've got to rebuild their team now. Many of those players just aren't good enough, not for where they want to be. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to rebuild, and like you say, he's at the start of a rebuild now, and hopefully. Well, I say hopefully, I don't give a shit about Chelsea, but for Potter, I think they would want to give Potter a chance to build a team, or else it wouldn't really be fair because
and
he's got 2 Shells and Lampard's players.
Yeah, he's got to prove himself as well. He's done a job for Brighton, and Brighton's MO is pretty much bring players in, they improve the team. And they get to move to a bigger team, and Brighton gets that revenue, gets the cash. But Now he's got a situation where he doesn't have to sell players and he has to build a team. It could be slightly. I mean, Potter's probably a good enough manager to do that, Sam, but it could be slightly.
Well, this is what we're going to see now, right? Because I think they're at least going to let him have a few, like the summer. This is what I think is going to happen. They're going to give him till next season, and unless some bad results that happen, you never know. This new owner guy, he seems to be a bit reactionary, like Abramovich was. He might pull the plug early, but I would think that you would give Potter next season at least, because he's got the January transfer window now, and he's got the summer transfer window to at least bring in a few of his players and try and shape the team the way he wants, and then he should get better results from that next season. At least that should be the plan. Yep. If he can't, I mean, if you don't get better results, if that doesn't happen, then they're probably going to pull the plug. And the thing I wanted to say was that with managers, sometimes they don't suit. You have managers who are great with smaller teams, you know, like they're better with, a shoestring budget, getting the most out of players who aren't well-known,
expectations, right?
Without the reputation, without the expectation around them. And then when they go up a level to the big boys who have that ego, that expectation, everything, they can't really handle it,
Yeah.
And that's what we'll have to see with Potter now.
Yeah, but he also has earned the opportunity to be given a go.
Of course. What he did at Brighton was fantastic, and that's why he deserves his chance. And then we have to see if he can take that step up from, no disrespect to Brighton, what is a small club. He has to now see if he can do the same at a big club with expectations.
Stan the Man said Potter has a 5-year contract.
Yeah, but Chelsea don't care, do they?
Would cost a fortune to get
it. What have they ever cared?
Tony, great point here from Don Juan. Remember now, you're Don Juan's favorite, okay? Our best 11 hasn't lost yet. We lost to United without Partey, and Partey is one of our most important players, if not our most important player.
Yeah. He's 29 now. We're finally getting from him what we wanted. We've seen him just a handful of games last season. Continued this season. Hopefully he stays fit. We definitely need to get somebody that can back him up, give the same thing he does. Zombie has different than he does. Zach is just used going forward now, so we really don't have a holding midfielder besides Partey.
Or the caliber of Partey, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not even close. You got El Nene, but to me, he's just a regular central midfielder.
I don't see many players. Thomas Partey is probably the best midfielder in his position in the Premier League right now, Here's a question Tejas Deshpande is giving us here. Is counter-attacking football more effective than high-pressing football? I think if you're set up to be a counter-attacking team, I don't think it's more effective, but you can get some results against bigger teams, and it's not consistent, such as Tottenham Hotspur. They're kind of a counter-attacking football team. High-pressing teams like City, Arsenal, Liverpool, they get joy through possession. So what's your thoughts on that, Sam, that question there? Is counter-attacking football more effective than high-pressing football? I think it depends on the team that you have and how much possession you're likely to have to be able to play with.
I don't think one of those strategies is more effective than the other, to be honest. I just think it depends. A good team should be able to do both. A really good team should be able to set up a game to either counter-attack if you're playing a really good possession team who likes to press high, who are really good at that. You should be able to sit a bit deep and counter-attack and be effective at that and play that way effectively. Or if your team's better than the other team, you should be having the ball the most. You should be able to press high and dominate the game and be the team in possession. So you should be able to do both of those things, to be honest.
Do you think Arsenal have some facets of both of those things? I think
I haven't really seen us since. To be honest with you, I haven't seen us since the early days of Arteta when he first took over, when we decided to sit deep and counter-attack.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, basically the last over a season now, I haven't seen us do that.
We won the FA Cup in 2020.
We did that because I think that's the way he realised that's the only way we're going to do it. We're going to counter-attack with Aubameyang and
use a back five.
And we're gonna counterattack with Aubameyang, and that's gonna be the way we win things, and that worked back then.
Yep.
But now that wasn't the way he wanted to play. We know that. We know he wanted to change to this system we're playing now.
Yeah, but you have to do what you can with the players that you have.
Exactly. That's why we're seeing now why Arteta's done a very good job. How he's managed to actually change that and develop that with us.
Yeah.
He has learned from a lot of the mistakes. Thankfully, he seems to have learned.
I don't ever want to hear about a false nine. I have fits and nightmares about false nine. And Pep, I don't want to be full Pep. I don't want Arteta to be full Pep at all. Tony, we had a back five when we went on the run to win the FA Cup. We had two fullbacks that were wing backs, played 3-4-3, right?
Yep, mainly that was Niles doing all the good stuff.
Yeah,
because he was one of our best players when Arteta first took over. Then missed a team meeting, gave a reason, and he was in my shit list ever since then.
Now, Sam, we actually got the goal. We had got the corner from a quick transition. Thiago gets tackled by Jesus, and we're able to transition really quickly. I think you noticed that Jesus should have passed the ball instead of shooting, but the corner comes from that turnover.
Yeah, exactly. No, but today we were so good at pressing high. We got many quick transitions today because we were just so close on them and could get into attack in their half because we were there. So we did that really well today. We were so smart in the way we played to take up all those spaces and be in the right places.
Mm-hmm.
It just worked really effectively today. And if we can continue this today, we're going to do very well this season because we really are effective with that way we play. But yeah, thankfully the corner came from that. And what was one of the strangest corners we've seen for a long time, that's where we got our goal from.
Yep. And went all the way through, and Gabriel Magalhaes was right there.
Yeah, Kai Havertz all of a sudden decided he didn't want to play football anymore. He didn't want to kick the ball. And then Cucurella was trying to have babies with Xhaka. And thankfully he was, trying to bum him so hard the ball just came straight through. And Saka thought he scored, but Gabriel got his toe on it right just before it went over the line. Yep. So I think it will be given to Gabriel that goal.
Gabriel Magalhaes. Stephen said Man United and Tottenham are the best counter-attacking teams, and they both lost. So, it's not sustainable. That's true. In my notes, I did say corner, ! Because after 60 minutes, and we had talked about having a good first 15 minutes, Sam, we needed to score within the first 16 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes. Well, it came in the 62nd minute. And it was right at the time where Potter was thinking about bringing some substitutes on.
Yeah, I think he saw that the attack for them wasn't working. The first half for them was quite poor. And that's when Potter, about the 64th minute, he pulled off, he changed their entire attack. He pulled off Aubameyang and Havertz, and he brought on Broja and what's his face? What's his name? The guy who went to Palace.
Gallagher.
That's it. Brought on Gallagher and Broja for Aubameyang and Havertz, and trying to change their attack completely. I think it was the right thing for them to do because they weren't working, they weren't doing well. So he did. I think Potter, he did the right thing, but they didn't do well at all. I think it shows our defense and our midfield how good we were today. Doing that.
My concern was that Potter was trying to keep it tight until 60 minutes and then go a little bit more attacking. Thankfully, we grabbed the goal at a great time just before the substitutes came on, because if their subs had come on, we hadn't scored, we could go into the 70th, 75th minute without scoring that goal. And just thankful because we are a team away from home against the bigger teams that we're probably not taking. Maybe in general, we're not taking the chances we should be taking.
Absolutely. That's what we're lacking. We're lacking that.
But it feels strange to say that, Sam, after all we have scored.
Well, normally, right? This is. I mean, we're actually in a privileged situation because several seasons ago we wouldn't be getting chances against Chelsea.
Yeah.
We may be getting one or two the whole game if we were lucky. There was that period even under Arteta where we just couldn't create. We couldn't create chances to save our lives. We couldn't create a single goal chance in one game, I think it was. So to go from there to be creating many chances a game and actually complaining about not putting them away, at least that's a step in the right direction, even though, of course, we need to start putting the goals away. But at least we're creating the chances, which is the positive point. We're actually creating chances, but we need to be more clinical, as Tony says. He's right. We need to be more clinical with what we're doing.
He's not always wrong, that Tony guy.
No, Tony's not always. He's not always wrong. He's not always wrong.
He's right sometimes. He does have some good points that.
It's like an old grandfather clock. It was broken. It's twice a day. It's right anyway. No matter what.
Yeah, look at Tony. 11 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 31 goals for, only 11 against, and we're almost halfway to the 75 points target, which now seems like a low bar. Hopefully I'm right in saying that, Tony.
I'm just glad my lead's getting further and further over Sam.
We'll see about that.
You're just being selfish. You're not thinking about Arsenal. You're just thinking about winning the upset challenge, Tony. That's all.
I'm still pissed about not going with
Villa. Yeah, I wanted to go with Villa too. Yeah.
All right, Tony. You do have a healthy lead, though, a 5-point lead over Sam. Okay,
that's going soon. It's going.
Will he be in the lead going into the World Cup break, Sam? That's
Doubtful.
A big question.
Doubtful.
Yeah. So listen, what else happened? 80. Tierney, right? Zinchenko comes off. Tierney comes on. 78 minutes. Zinchenko's starting to get a little tired. We want Tierney to do well and be invested in the team, and he's there. He's still fighting, right, Sam?
I think Zinchenko had a very quiet game today, to be honest. He did okay, but he made quite a few mistakes as well. That throw in he did was absolutely ridiculous. But I think that's more of a wet ball. I think it was more due to the ball being wet, I think. But
yeah.
It looked ridiculous.
Ball boy did do a job there.
It looked ridiculous anyway. But yeah, no, I just think, and of course he's just come back from injury, so it's expected against Chelsea away. I didn't expect him to come in and have an amazing game. He had a quite quiet game today. But yeah, Tierney, when he came on, looked good. He looked fresh. He looked good, and he definitely helped us when he came on. We looked more solid. We were because Chelsea were trying a little bit towards the end there.
Yeah,
and it just helped us shore up the game. It just kept us, ticking along the way we wanted. I thought Tierney looked pretty good when he came on.
Five minutes before he comes on.
3 or 4 times in the last month or so. He's came on late.
He's like our really Rob good. Holding. He's like our Rob Holding 2.0.
Don't ever say that.
Rob Holding, not quite the same. Rob Holding, he's done okay when he's come on at the end of games to shore him up, but Rob Holding's not so good when he starts games, unfortunately, in my opinion.
Yeah. About 5 minutes before Tierney came on, I asked the question, can Arsenal bleed this game now? Can we hold on? Because that's a sign of like a championship style team. I'm not going to say we're going to win the league, but these are the kind of things you need to do.
Come on, Ray, be bold.
These are the tests you need to. Yeah, I mean, it's okay to say we're going to win the league with Manchester City still there. You know what I mean? 81st minute, Ben White clearance from a Sterling cross. Also a great Saliba clearance. Saliba was really good today. Chelsea are pushing. 84th minute, Jesus and Saka combined. 85th minute, Gallagher's getting tired. Well, actually, he's a substitute, but he's actually pulling the shirt of Kieran Tierney. Then the 86th minute, Elneny comes on for Ødegaard. Sterling gets a yellow card on Partey. 5 minutes of added time, just like Manchester City. We need to control possession. And then I say, Xhaka cares a lot, Sam. He's in that corner in front of our fans. And we just want him to be on the right side of a red card and not get one.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier today. We saw today that he restrained himself to the level where he wasn't getting a red card. He was verbal with him. He was pointing his finger. He was pissed at him, but he didn't do the old Xhaka thing where he would have probably pushed him and smacked him in the face or something.
Or try to strangle him.
Or try to strangle him. Yeah, or even that, strangle him. Yeah.
So this is a good Xhaka, and we want it to continue. Imagine if Granit Xhaka goes through the whole season without a red card.
That would be amazing. That would absolutely be amazing.
I got to check with Anthony what the odds are on that with Paddy Power.
It's not going to happen.
You don't think it's going to happen? You think he'll get a red card at some point at the end of the season, Tony?
It's likely, but now he's holding himself on the right side of the line, isn't he?
He's been close. He's been really close lately.
If it happens, Tony, I would like it to be 2 yellows. You know what I mean? Because then
by the looks of it, it'd be a straight red.
It's less likely now because as we see with his new position, right? He is further forward. He's not in position. He's not in that position where he's fuck, someone's going to run past me. I have to stop him, which was always happening when he was playing that deeper role. He was getting beat all the time. Exactly. So now when he's further up the pitch, he doesn't have to do those stupid things.
Yeah. So, Sam, we have only lost once to Chelsea. It's amazing to say this. We've only lost to Chelsea once in 7 games, and that was the Lukaku game last season. Isn't that kind of amazing?
It's brilliant. It's the way we turned it around. We really have, Chelsea under Mourinho and all that. The late Wenger years. They turned into a real bogey team for us, where they were always beating us. But now with Arteta, it's a different story. We're turning the tables back to our way now. So that's good. It's great. And you have to have this type of thing with the rivals, especially the league rivals and stuff, because you have to. It's a psychological advantage. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, I know these games are always going to be, you don't really look at form and things like that. But I do think if you've won the last 3 games, it does mean something up here when you go into the game,
Yeah.
Especially going there and winning 3 or 4. I think that even says more.
Exactly. So it means something up here, psychologically, and it affects them and it improves us.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the rivalry and like the tribalism of football, right? And I don't know about you, Sam or Tony. Are you starting to hate on Manchester City a little bit more because we're fighting with them?
We've never had a rivalry with Manchester City, right? Because they've always been such a shit club in modern times, anyway, in the Premier League era, until they finally got that Qatar money. And then when they got that Qatar money and bought all those players basically overnight, that's when things changed. They just went ahead of everyone, right? They just built a team and went ahead of everyone, and you develop this not so much of a rivalry really, because we haven't been close to them or been close to them at all since they took over basically. But you have this real dislike for them, right? I do.
Yep.
Because it's not. You just feel it's not fair. You've bought yourself a winning team. That's what you've gone and done. First, Chelsea did it with Abramovich. They just went and bought themselves a team basically overnight, brought in Mourinho, and that's it. They just started winning because they spent, $1 billion on players altogether, throughout that period. And now, and Manchester City did the same. They followed suit. So, you have a dislike for that, right? Because you just feel it's not right. It's not the right way of doing things, really, even though, there is really no wrong or right. You want to talk about, there is no really that type of thing. But you think, the way things should be. So It's not really a rivalry. I think it's just a real dislike for them being. You just know that what they're doing is not real, because Manchester City, they don't have the following worldwide as Arsenal, Chelsea, United. They really don't. I know they're gaining more and more now. They're doing better with their worldwide reach, but they're still nowhere near what Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, United are, and they're still going to be a way off of it, because globally, until a few seasons ago, people over in the Far East still didn't know who Manchester City were. So, they've got a long way to come that way. But yeah, it's just a real dislike, really. It's not like, because we don't really have any rivalry with them on the football pitch. It's just like, oh, you guys just went and bought yourself a whole team and bought yourself the championship, basically.
Well, hopefully that's developing, though. You know what I mean? We'll get more into that after Kahoot. We're going to play Kahoot.
Yeah, let's get ready to Kahoot.
I put the number in there. Craig said, Saliba reminds me of the great David O'Leary, so calm on the ball. Love David O'Leary, being Irish myself.
Saliba's great.
A great affinity for David O'Leary. And we won the league in '89 because David O'Leary was part of that three at the back. George Graham changed tactics to win that game up at Anfield. Unheard of at the time to go and beat Liverpool at the time 2-0. And we needed to win by 2 clear goals then. So there's the number for Kahoot. Get in for a chance to win, as they say, right, Tony?
Yeah, or go grab your phone like I'm doing.
All right, go grab your phone. People, grab your phone. Jesus saves. AFC Reds is in. Conte Syrup is back. Partey Thunder is here. And we'll see if anyone else jumps in now. So, and then we'll get it going. I think Sam is looking to get in there right now. And we'll talk about Don Juan, man in the match. We'll talk a little bit more about. We don't talk about this enough. Drinking up the tears of our rivals. These fans of rival teams are waiting for us to stumble, and we could have done that today, but we didn't, because we are stronger mentally, and we're being efficient. Tony, we probably didn't have many shots on target today, right?
No, I think it was
apart from the goal. 8 shots, but they weren't all on target, I'm going to say.
14 shots, 2 on target.
There you go. Two on target, and we took care of one of them. We got 1 goal from that. So a tough place to go, but we did it. Okay, let's start Kahoot here, and we'll get back into more football talk afterwards. Okay. Are you ready? All 5 of you.
No, I am not.
Okay, well, I'll give you special dispensation. I'll give you an extra few seconds. Mr. Tom Bebe is in. Jesus saves. AFC Reds. Conte Syrup. Partey Thunder. Sam, are you in?
Yeah, I'm Jesus saves.
Okay. Well, you don't have to reveal your identity if you don't want to. Tony's Brazil.
Tony's Brazil.
All right. There we go, Tony. Ready?
A fucking koala with a fucking helicopter on my head.
Craig has said what Arteta has done has changed the mentality at the club. And we'll talk about that as well. That's very true, Craig. Here we go. I'll turn up the volume, maybe. Okay. First question. Which club has Arteta not played for in his career? Which club has Arteta not played for in his career? Arsenal, Everton, Rangers, or Celtic? Which club has Mikel Arteta not played for in his career? I think 5 people are playing. All 5 answers are in. The correct answer is Celtic, not Rangers. Here we go. Jesus saves his first, AFC Rid second, Conte's Syrup third, Partey Thunder fourth, and Mr. Tom, you've given everyone else a chance today. 5th place. What team has Potter never managed? What team has Potter never managed? Ulster Sons, Chelsea, Portsmouth, or Brighton? Craig, you're right with Celtic. If you're not playing this time, Craig, download the Kahoot app on your iPhone. You don't have to sign away anything. It's very easy. You don't have to pay for anything. It's free. And it's a color-coded answer system. Portsmouth is the correct answer. 1 incorrect with Ulster Sons. Jesus saves in the lead. AFC Rid second. Conte Serve very close third. Partey Thunder fourth. And Mr. Tom is concerningly behind everyone else. He's what do you call these? The shark. In the 2020 FA Cup final, which Chelsea player was sent off? In the 2020 FA Cup final, which Chelsea player was sent off? Jorginho, Kovacic, Azpilicueta, or Pulisic?
I think I got that one wrong.
The standard is high here, Sam. You have to get a lot of them right. Kovacic was the correct answer. The good thing.
No one got it. No one got it.
Nobody got that answer. That's the good news. So everybody picked. Well, of course you're not Chelsea fans, right? Wouldn't expect that. Here we go. What is Chelsea's nickname? What is Chelsea's nickname? The procrastinators, the pensioners, the prisoners, the passengers. What is Chelsea's nickname?
What?
Wrong answers only count. Come on.
Why are you laughing, Sam? The pensioners. Everyone got that one right.
Yeah.
For some reason, Sam thought that was funny.
Where'd Sam go?
AFC Reds.
There's Sam. He's risen.
Yeah.
Conte Syrup is third. Partey Thunder fourth. And Mr. Tom Bebe is fifth. Don't take any phone calls at this very important point in your week. Which Arsenal player did not score against Chelsea last season? Which player did not score against Chelsea in the 2 games last season? Nketiah, Odegaard, Saka, or Emile Smith-Rowe?
Oh, these details. This is where I go wrong on these details.
5 correct answers. Martin, Odegaard did not score. Nketiah scored 2.
What are you picking on the Norwegian guy for?
Saka scored. Hey, we love Martin. Martin's my second name, my middle name.
Look, I picked that one right, and it's still
Conte Syrup. Watch out for Conte Syrup. He's risen up in the second.
Watch out for a fucking Kahoot robot. You hit the right one, and they say it to him.
Jesus saves in the lead. That's you, Sam, right? Jesus?
Yep.
Okay. Don't bottle it now. Come on. What were the scores of both games versus Chelsea last season?
No.
What were the scores of both games last season? 1-1 and 1-1, 0-0 and 4-0, 0-2 and 4-2, or 1-0 and 3-2. What were the scores of both games Arsenal played against Chelsea last season?
God, fucking. Who remembers this shit?
Come on. You should remember.
I got it right.
Arsenal fan, come on. All 6 of you did. So, big up. Mr. Tom's making his move. He's up in the 4th place. AFC Reds 3rd. Conte Syrup 2nd. And Jesus saves in 1st place. So, it's pretty competitive here. We got 4 to go. Who scored Arsenal's goals in the 2017 FA Cup final over Chelsea? Ozil and Giroud, Alexis and Giroud, Alexis and Ramsey, or Holding and Ramsey?
I think I got that one wrong.
Ozil and Giroud, Alexis and Giroud, Alexis and Ramsey, Holding and Ramsey. It was a good cup final for Holding, but he did not score. Alexis Sanchez scored first, and then Giroud crossed for Ramsey, diving header for the second. Three of you got that correct. Conte Syrup in the lead. AFC Reds second. Jesus saves.
The fuck happened to you, Sam? You
got that one wrong.
You missed one. That's it. We got two to go. Which game is not a London derby? Arsenal versus Palace, Arsenal versus West Ham, Arsenal versus Southampton, Arsenal versus Brentford. Which game is not a London derby?
There's someone who always takes so long to answer.
5 correct. Well, it's 30 seconds, so it's set for 30 seconds. 5 correct answers. It's still very close. Conte Syrup in the lead. AFC Red second. Jesus saves third. Mr. Tom fifth. And Partey Thunder.
Come on, Sam.
Who scored a 15-minute hat trick in 1999 versus Chelsea? Overmars, Kanu, Lundberg, or Bergkamp? I believe this is the last question as well.
What? You did 9 questions instead of 10?
I have 10 questions then. I've got one more to go.
Yeah.
Right, 5 correct answers. Kanu is the correct answer. Conte Syrup in the lead. AFC Reds second. Jesus saves third. Partey Thunder fourth. And Mr. Tom Bebe fifth. Ready?
Hit it quick, Sam. Hit it quick.
Here we go. Next. Last question. What year did Arsenal beat Chelsea 2-0 in the FA Cup final? 1998, 2002, 2003, or 2005? What year did Arsenal beat Chelsea 2-0 in the FA Cup final? Got a chance, Sam. You got a chance.
Ray, you have to explain why you put these gifts up.
I thought you'd like a nice lady there, Tony. 5 correct answers. 2002 is the correct answer. All right, here's the podium. Sam, maybe third place.
Oh, fucking hell.
Ready? Conte Syrup second. Ready did
Look
it.
Look how close that was.
AFC Reds.
Look how fucking close that was.
Partey Thunder fourth. And Mr. Tom, what happened, Mr. Tom? You're having a bad day there. Not Chelsea is not one of your specialist topics. Yeah. Well played, everyone. Well played. A little bit of fun, right?
That was good.
Nice to see that Sam was part of Paw Patrol there.
I actually managed to get a few questions this time because it was about Arsenal.
Yes, I tried to put more Arsenal in now.
It wasn't about Nottingham Forest and fucking Southampton and Leeds.
Mr. Tom blaming on his connection. 18 seconds behind. All right. So yeah, let's get into the man of the match. Of course, this is the section where Sam and I will discuss who we thought were man of the match, and then Tony will tell us who we should have really picked. You know what I mean? So Sam, who do you think were your candidates for man of the match today?
So for me, I thought today the players who stood out more than all the others for us were, I thought Ben White had a very good game. I thought Saliba had a very good game. Mm-hmm. I thought Gabriel had a very good game. I thought Thomas Partey had a very good game. I think it's especially those between those 4 players, I thought had very good games. And I think the one who just stood out a bit more ahead of everyone else was Saliba. He was just so cool and collected in everything he did. He made some real key tackles, some key headers. And he is just looking like an amazing defender right now. And the way he was just playing with that brochure at the end. I mean, he was just messing around with him like a cat messes around with a dead mouse. You know, he just actually gave him a few yards. He said, "Oh, go on, start running," and then he just caught up with him and got the ball.
The one where he's playing offside with him. I don't know why the linesman doesn't just put the flag up, because somebody's going to get injured. And that's
that's a stupid rule. That's a real stupid rule. You have to wait until play stops. I don't know what it is. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I thought Saliba was just a head above everyone else there today. He just looked really good, really strong, and my God, what a player we've got in him! Wow, what a fantastic player. So yeah,
so he kind of gets overlooked a little bit, right? We look at the transfers in the summer, and technically he's not a transfer, right?
He's he is like a new
player.
He's
a homegrown player. Imagine that.
The thing is, he's like a new player though, because he's been out on loan, hasn't he, for 3 seasons? So
exactly.
It does feel like a new player for us, and wow, it's really worked out.
Speaking for myself, I'll say Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko have brought the mentality to us, but that's kind of overlooking what William Saliba has done for us, forming a partnership with Gabriel at the back and being.
Well, that's the thing now. You see, it's even though Gabriel has his moments, he's still so good with Saliba. Together, they play such a good unit.
Yep.
That when you take Gabriel out of that and put Holding in, it just doesn't work the same. It's much more unstable when Holding's in there. So even Gabriel, with his brain farts, unfortunately, he still has now and again. Overall, he gives us more stability with Saliba. So that's why, for me, he needs to be playing.
Hey, Ryan. Evening, everyone. Ryan. Thunder Rod says, issue between laptop and phone app. It is so, Kahoot is so connected to your speed of your internet as well. Scoring is worked out based on how quickly you answer the correct answer. You're going to smash it next time.
Okay, we figured out why fucking Mr. Tom lost.
That's what you want to hear. You can get him next time, Mr. Tom. You did a good job.
Hey, look, somebody found a girl for you, Sam.
Oh, great. Yeah. Who's blocking that shit?
Could be for you as well. It's very random. It's for all of us.
You a moderator, Tony? Moderator? No.
Looks like a moderator, wasn't it?
Looks like a bot to me.
Guess who's got to be the host and the moderator around here?
Where's Gary when you need him?
Moderator's a real slack around here.
I got the red card wrong.
That's the one I got wrong. I got the red card wrong.
Okay. Saliba's been really, really good for us. I thought Partey was the best player on the pitch, though, for me. I'm going to give Partey man of the match. He's kept everything going in the right direction. He snuffed out all of the dangers, and midfield's so important. We're seeing Liverpool struggle because they have an inefficient midfield, and we have a player who makes it work. So much so, if you put El Neni in there or Lokonga in there, it's not quite the same. Anyway, Sam went for Saliba. I've gone for Partey. Tony's going to tell us we're both wrong, maybe.
Yeah.
Because neither one of us.
Saliba that had 72 touches, 13 possessions won, 3 clearances, 3 duels won, 3 interceptions, 2 tackles, 2 touches in opponent's box, 2 accurate long balls, 1 block, and 0 times dribbled past. But I'm going to go with somebody Sam said and go with the game winner, Gabriel.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, Sam, I think Gabriel Magalhaes, we've got to give him credit when he has a good game like this and be part of the back four.
Absolutely. I just thought, in my opinion, Gabriel had a great game today. He scored the goal, of course. It would have been a goal anyway, but he got his foot to it anyway. He got the goal. He was in a good position and did it. But for me, just in my opinion, he could have. Of course, I have absolutely nothing against him being man of the match. But in my opinion, Saliba just did more today. I thought he did more in the game.
Yeah, and I think going away from home, winning a game, I'm going to call it a gritty game again.
Yeah,
these are big teams go to difficult places and win win games and have to hold on to a 1-0 lead. And I think we passed all of the question marks that have been against us since Manchester United, Sam. We kind of passed all of those questions.
Yeah.
We're flying.
I think today for me was where we actually, like I said earlier, that for me, the mentality we showed with the extra pressure and expectation on us after City winning, with that added pressure and expectation to still go there to Stamford Bridge and dominate and win, that for me gives me, in my opinion and the way I think, it lets me now think that we are actually the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
We're no longer just maybe. I think we're the real deal, because to go and do what we did today is not for everyone. Let's just put it that way. It's not for everyone.
Yeah. There's not many teams that can do that, and we can still say we haven't beaten anyone good, right?
That's the thing when you look at us so far, right? Yeah, I mean, we've beaten Liverpool. That's the team that we haven't been able to beat for several seasons now. But I'm looking apart from the FA Cup. I'm talking in the league now. We've been absolutely molested by Liverpool for several seasons. We finally managed to beat them.
Yeah.
We beat Spurs, put them in their box. And even though we lost to Manchester United, we were the better team. We didn't play a bad game, in my opinion, and I think that's the same most people think as well. We didn't play a bad game. We went to Old Trafford. We could have won that game. We were unlucky and didn't.
Yeah.
And then we go to Stamford Bridge and we win 1-0 after Manchester City have laid the gauntlet down and said, right, we've won. Now you go and win, and we did it. Mm-hmm. So to beat these teams and do what we're doing, you have to start taking us seriously.
Yeah, and you don't often see Pep Guardiola, Tony, celebrating like that, the way he celebrated yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of relief there in that celebration.
Usually just sitting down, enjoying the game.
So, Tony, as I mentioned earlier, let's talk about our fans a little bit, and it's fine. All of our fans can get on board and get on the train if they feel like it, because at the end of the day, I've come to the realization since Crystal Palace away from home at the start of the season that every Arsenal fan
at Selhurst Park,
every Arsenal fan has their own opinions, and who am I to try to change someone's opinion because you feel about Arsenal the way you personally feel about it. I think some Arsenal fans want to protect themselves from a title challenge talk. We talked about this a little bit earlier, saying we're not as good as City. But I'm at the point now where I'm saying, okay, Arsenal have to go to Wolves next weekend, and ask myself, would I expect Manchester City to beat Wolves away from home? That's the kind of levels we're at now, where I have to compare Arsenal to what City are doing. And I have to say, hand on heart, that Arsenal should be going to Wolves next weekend and winning that game.
Yeah, we're at that level now where we're back to back in the Invincible days, when we would look at our calendar and we would basically look at every team and say, "Yep, that's 3 points. That's 3 points. That's 3 points." And we'd look at Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man United and say, we should beat them, but we don't know. But every other team that's 3 points. And then last season and the season before, it's like, where do we get 3 points, right? And we look at every team like, we're going to lose. We're going to maybe get a draw. We're going to lose.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
So last season,
now we've turned it around again. And that again is testament and absolute, kudos to what we've been doing. We're back to where we're looking at every team thinking, yeah, we should win. And now when you look at our first 13 games, we've only lost to Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Yep.
I think we can be confident that we should be beating these other teams. It's definitely that type of position we're in.
There is a situation at striker, though, that we can't shy away from.
Yes.
Do you think Jesus is legal?
That is the main thing for me. I think if we keep Jesus fit and we can rotate enough with the Europa League to keep him not fresh, but in good shape for the league, I think as long as he stays fit, I think we'll have a chance. But if we get a long-term injury or even a medium-term injury on Jesus and we only have Nketiah, I don't think we're going to do it, because we just don't have we don't have what Jesus brings to the team. And at least, and without Jesus, if we had a good goal scoring backup, someone who could come in and score goals would be at least what we need. But we don't have that. We don't have someone who can come in and score goals. So that is the worrying point for us: is if we lose Jesus and Partey as well. Partey is another player. If we lose Partey, our whole midfield changes. We have to change it around the dynamic and the tactics, and it's gonna be more of a struggle.
Why not? Says
where's he been?
Forgot about him.
Hasn't he? He's disappeared lately.
We welcome all Arsenal fans. It's okay, because you had reservations about Arsenal. It's completely natural to have reservations about Arsenal over the years, and some people are more reticent to getting on the bandwagon and jumping on that bandwagon and saying, yeah, we're going somewhere. And there's no shame in saying you had reservations or you worried about the so-called process. You know what I mean? So Chris is here, a Chelsea fan. Can I jump on and give my thoughts? If you want to jump in backstage, we're going to be winding things up soon. If you want to jump on backstage and join us after we go, we end the broadcast, you can certainly do that. Come and have a chat with us first. But yeah, I think, Sam, there's nothing wrong with Arsenal fans either protecting themselves and saying we're not in the title race or we are. I mean, for me, you don't have to be one or the other, right?
Well, the thing is,
it's your own personal opinion, right?
People look at this at different perspectives, right? Some people don't think of a title race until the last couple of months of the season. You're like, you can't say you're in a title race until you get to like April, which, okay, is fair enough. But then if you're looking at the table now and what's happened now, if you say Manchester City are favourites, but we're ahead of them. And it's only us who are close to them, or they're with them.
Yeah, there's a gap.
So it's like, so if it's not a title race, what is it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, it's a duck.
As of right now, we're involved in the conversation for the title. Will that change by March or April? Maybe, but as of right now,
that's the thing, right? Things can change, but right now, you look at the table. If you there is such a thing. You just have to say, are we in a title race? Okay, you're looking at the table now. Yes, we are.
Yeah,
we are when you look at the table.
Exactly. Samuel said, Mr. Tom, it's a process, 2 years for the players to take on board what he is trying to get across. Also changing the players, I think, as well. Samuel, my point is more from perspective. Your team was never bad. Mr. Tom saying, we've come a long way from 2 years of mediocrity. Arsenal have. To be fair, Sam, you were fortunate that the City game got called off. Who knows what would have happened, but I'm quite
grateful. I'd rather played it. I would have rather played it than have the fixture pile up or what I have.
Yeah. We don't know what would have happened in that game. We don't know.
We were cooking. It would have been right after the Liverpool game, I think. Maybe after the Leeds game. I'm not sure when that was.
It was at that time when we
it was the game we beat PSV 1-0 in that game. But in the same breath, it wasn't that good to compete in the top 6. And dissembled, we have changed. Yeah, Pete Haywood, nice one.
I don't know who that is.
Do we care if Brownie? Yeah, we do care about Brownie.
We do care about Brownie. I've tried to contact him, but this show is not about Brownie, is it?
Yeah. So he's in a situation that is not of our making, for sure. So
I've tried to get in contact with him down there. It's not possible. The embassy won't give out any information. So
and what happens in the jurisdiction of these countries is not, it is what that country has determined, and that's what goes on in that country. So there's not much else we can really say about that.
I have absolutely no idea that that's what's going to happen. That's just based on what the absolute maximum can be. But to get to that point, it's sheer speculation. So to go around saying that's what's going to happen is just absolute it's just not nice at all. So,
and I don't know anything about it, but I do hope that the UK can intervene in some way.
Yeah, that's what I hope, but I don't know because I'm not on his list of contacts, and when I'm not family, they don't want to tell you anything.
They won't even talk to you. They won't even entertain any kind of correspondence.
So that puts to bed a certain other person on a different channel who says they've got information from the embassy. I can guarantee you they haven't, because they don't give information to anyone but family. So it's as simple as that. Yeah. It's just rumors and bullshit.
Yeah, it's a very complicated situation. Mr. Tom said, to be fair, Sam is often updating us with what he knows, etc. So, yeah, we hope that situation can come under the jurisdiction of the UK and not be solely of that other country that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then, come what may, you know what I mean? It is a very unfortunate thing. So yeah, Arsenal fans, and you can speak. I think it's fine. It's your opinion, Tony, and you can speak how you want about Arsenal and feel how you want about Arsenal.
Yeah, that's why I picked them to finish second a couple of months ago. So.
And I would say to Arsenal fans, just bear in mind, Liverpool have been in this fight with Manchester City for 5 or 6 seasons, and they've got one title out of it. I think I'd be very happy if we were involved in title runs for the next 5 years. We get one title out of it, but we get sort of an automatic entry into the Champions League as well, and keep going from there. Just one final point, we're going to get out of here in a few minutes, Sam, but is, as we touched on earlier, is Manchester City less likable now to us because we're in a title race? I'm starting to feel a little bit more dislike toward them when Kevin De Bruyne, one of their better players, has to fall down to get a penalty. Bernardo Silva, one of their better players, has to stick a leg into, I don't know who they were playing the other week before as well, and they beat them at home. Tony, what do you think about it?
I'm kind of like Sam, never have liked him. Definitely don't like him with the oil money.
No, it's not. It doesn't feel right, does it? It just doesn't feel right.
And really speaking of that, look at who's third place right now. Yeah. Newcastle.
Newcastle are up there. They're quietly
80% of the wealth of the entire league.
They're 2 years ahead of schedule.
Yeah. Sam,
it'll be interesting to see what they do in January.
There's going to be a few teams that are going to be on the outs, right? Outside the top 4 looking in. Let's just say it's City, it's Arsenal, it's Newcastle. And then there's like 4 or 5 teams fighting for that last spot.
It's going to turn into we'll see what Chelsea aren't really performing despite having a lot of money. But if you look at the guys who have the real, you look at the oil conglomerates, City, Newcastle. So they're going to be up there, aren't they? And then if you look at us, we're doing well. But if you look at Chelsea and their money, United and their money, if they start spending it, it's just going to be, isn't it? It's going to be. It's basically going to be the teams with the most money that just fill out the top 6, isn't it?
Yeah. The landscape. We've been following Arsenal for a few decades now, Sam and Tony. But the landscape has been Liverpool, Man United, and Arsenal consistently.
Yep.
Tottenham they've always been there, but they've been always that little.
They've always been top half.
They've been more of a thorn lately, though. But
they have been
top half.
But those are the traditional rivalries, right? We're supposed to hate Liverpool. We're supposed to hate Man United. But now we've got Chelsea have come on the scene recently. Last 20 years, they've had success. And now we've got City. And City, I contend City are around long enough now for us to start hating them. It's okay. 10 years of success for City say that we should start disliking them. What is happening now is what has been we've been wanting for years. Owners that are actually supporting the manager to give us a chance. Why the hell it took so long, God only knows.
Well, the just to say something very quickly on that, according to what these, the Arsenal journalists and things like that. And also, I agree with it. It's down to the fact that you got to remember that it was only 2018 that the KSC, the Cronkies, got full ownership of Arsenal. And before then, it's not, it really is two very different things when you don't have full ownership compared to when you do. So from when they took over with
I still think it's bullshit, though.
No, it's not. No, it's not Tony. They haven't.
We found something to disagree on.
KSC haven't had full ownership of Arsenal. They haven't. There was other shareholders there, and then KSC.
Yeah, but Usmanov never had a board seat or nothing. He had no say at all.
He had percentages.
My money.
He accepted that, but he had a stake in the club. But he accepted that they didn't have a seat on the board. But he was still a shareholder, remember? So he was part of the meetings and stuff with the shareholders and all of that. But anyway, don't want to go down that rabbit hole with you. But the thing is, it wasn't until 2018 that KSC, the Cronkies, were 100% owners of Arsenal Football Club, and that's when I think we saw things started to improve. To be honest,
yeah. When you don't have 100% stake in anything, Tony, you're not going to put a lot of money into your business because you're benefiting your silent partner or your rival, which is.
And there was a lot going on behind the scenes there. There was a lot going on that wasn't great behind the scenes and stuff, from what I gather. So, yeah, I don't think it was as straightforward as people think.
Looking at the other franchises, Tony, the Cronkies have done things with the other franchises. The Rams or the Avalanche, is it? They have won things and they have invested in the other teams. So there's nothing that tells me that they won't invest in Arsenal as they have been doing in the last 5, 6, 7 years.
I still don't know why they didn't do it in January. Said it would upset if they went for anybody, which I think is bullshit. They should have spent my money. They said their goal was just for top 6. Later on, it wasn't top 4, so they definitely fucked up last year. I could have spent my money and made sure we finished 4th.
I don't know. You spend money. Like, a squad place is very valuable. Look at Liverpool. They've done some things with Oxlade-Chamberlain, Keita, and these players are injured, not a big use to Liverpool right now. So you have to be so careful with your spending and your acquisitions. Like, Jack Mack is here. Good to see you, Jack. Hi, lads. Good night for both of our teams. Liverpool won, and Liverpool won.
Beat the scum. Liverpool beat the scum. We like that.
Liverpool beat the scum. So investment has always been in the club, Sam. It's just the level of targeting the right players. It's always the question, right?
Yeah, it's the whole thing, right? You saw before Edu, we had Raul, who God knows what he was up to. Even Gazidis,
up in his pockets apparently.
Even Gazidis, he didn't do a good job. Ivan Gazidis, it wasn't run very well, was it? From that level, the structure wasn't really in place very well. So it's only now when they've restructured the club and they basically redid everything. When they took full ownership, that's when they started the full restructuring of everything. Yeah. They brought in the likes of Garlic. They brought in what's his name, Tim Duncan or whatever his name is. What is his? I can't remember. Tim Lewis. Sorry, Tim Lewis.
Tim Lewis. Yeah.
Tim Lewis. Along with Chelsea are doing now a lot of the same behind the staff changes.
So they've restructured things a lot, and it's helped a lot. It's improved us a lot as a club as a whole. And they started to invest. Yeah, I agree. Last season they should have invested more. Last season became a bit of like a stopgap, probably intentionally. But then the last couple of windows they've spent a lot. We've done a lot. So we'll see how it goes now the next couple of windows. But either way, you got to say that what has been happening the last 2 or 3 years has worked because it's got us to where we are now. So, and we're in a very good position now. So, you just got to be able to give credit where it's due.
Yep. Brady said in the last 2 years, Josh has shown us that he's attempting to learn more about the culture and people around the club. And I think that's a big part of it as well. You know what I mean? Jack said, "Big up, Tom. Hope you're well, lad. Amazing comeback for your lads. You can't go to the well every day, though, Tom. You gotta play a little bit better and not have your heart fluttering as much." All right, so we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully, we've got one more game. It's going to be we got two really. Actually, really quick question, Sam. What do you think we should do on Wednesday? It's Brighton.
The League Cup.
In the League Cup. It's not, not a competition we should prioritize, right?
I'd like to see us try and win the League Cup, to be honest, because it's still a trophy, and I'd like us to win a trophy. If there's one or two key players we can rest, I think I'll be okay with that, as long as it's only like one or two, not like 5 or 6 or 7. So if we were okay with that,
yeah.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with resting one or two players for that game, but not more than that.
Yeah. Is it a competition you value? It's Liverpool are holding that trophy right now, Sam.
It's not priority like the league or Europa League, but it's still I'd like to win the trophy.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I would allow one or two players to be rested. I wouldn't necessarily need to see the full first team out there, but it's also a game where I don't want to see the whole team change. I don't want to see a full, we're resting everyone for Wolves. Yeah. I don't want to see that.
Maybe treat it like a Europa League game extended.
Yeah, but even more serious than that, where in the Europa League we've rested like 4, 5, 6 players. Yeah. Now, like I said, just rest Jesus, rest Partey, and that's it basically.
Yeah. All right, Jack. Thanks for grabbing the link.
I was just popping in.
Just wanted to bring you in and say, listen, thank you for beating that team today.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
They are literally dire, mate. But good to meet you, lads, as well. I was only going to pop in. I haven't seen you in a while, mate. But yeah, you're very welcome. We've been atrocious this season, 100% atrocious. But yeah,
every week it's like your season's going to start. Every week you're saying your season's going to get better. It's going to get kick-started,
Yeah, but I'm supporting. I've got you and a lot of I've got quite a lot of West Ham mates that I know personally as well. Not West Ham, Arsenal fans anyway. And I'm hoping you do it this season, but just keep on doing what you're doing, lads. One game at a time. And
we know from looking at Liverpool, it's really hard to beat City in the long run, right?
So we have second favorite team.
We have that.
You got to get 100 points, right? You got to get 100 points. That's what you got to get.
No, it's difficult, boys. But if you just keep on doing what you've been doing, and I think you've all seen the stats this season anyway, in terms of obviously the records are there, but. I have seen frailties, and even when Liverpool did win the league, I know it was a crazy year that year, but City have got frailties in the squad. Don't show it many times, but if you keep on doing what you've been doing, boys, rotate well is the massive point.
Liverpool won a lot of games, right? You won every game for about how many games did you win in a row that season?
It was mad. 12, like, it was like 17, 18, something crazy, like a run.
That's the kind of pressure you needed to exert on City to break them a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think the January ones, boys, as well, it'd be a massive, I think, the January to February period, especially obviously this season with the World Cup, it'd be interesting to see how teams do juggle with that, mate. But if you rotate well, I think that's the massive point this season. And if you do bring in one or two bit more quality in certain areas, I think he's going to be in an excellent position. Especially to finish top 4 as well, mate. I've been speaking to you on the channel, mate. I'm like, before this season, and I think top 4 was obviously a priority. But if you can do better, or second, third, or even first, that'd be tremendous, mate.
Yeah, we know first is going to be difficult, but we'll prolong it.
Keep on believing, boys.
If we can apply pressure from the front, as in being 2 points ahead of them every week, rather than being 2 points behind them, then we can apply a different kind of pressure. Because it's difficult to try to catch a team that's ahead, and we want to be the team that's ahead. Can you grab 4th place, Jack?
If Spursy being Spursy, like over the last couple of years, United being United, anything's possible. You probably watched from an outside point of view that season. Was it 2-3 years ago when we literally had no centre halves, and we still finished 4 points behind that great United side.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything's possible. We've got a good enough squad, but it's the inconsistency. We've been really poor and just not stringing wins together, mate. But hopefully that changes. But I don't think it will. I'll be happy with top 4, but I'll be very surprised if we do get top
4. Jack, I'd like to have you back on the 20th in 2 weeks from now.
I should be available, mate. Just hit us up, mate, on Ruby.
All right, we'll close it out there. Stick around, Jack. Anyone else wants to grab that link, drop in backstage, say hello. Sam, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. It's been great, as always. Cheers, guys.
And, of course, nothing personal, rival fans, but we're just going to keep on trying to win here. Arsenal haven't been Arsenal for the last 6-7 years. Tony, good to have you again, Tony.
Yep, good to be here. And I'm not go against what Sam says and not give any fucks about the League Cup. I think that cost Liverpool last year going too heavy into the League Cup because they didn't think they were going to get anywhere within City. Then City started dropping points.
Play it under 12s if you can.
Play the under 12s if you can. Yeah. I mean, Liverpool almost did it last year, quadruple. That's amazing, Jack, to take it that far. You got the 2 cups against that team, Chelsea, which aren't all that anymore, I believe, anyway. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, Jack, for joining in late. Sam and Tony, we're out of here. We'll see you Thursday night. Take care, everyone. We're still top of the league. We're hanging in there, all right? Come on, you.